Alright, let's talk about American presidents. These leaders have shaped the course of history, each bringing their own unique style and vision to the office. From the very first president, George Washington, to the current occupant of the White House, the role of the president has evolved significantly over the centuries. We love them, we hate them, we make fun of their hair. Presidents have always been a source of fascination and controversy. They are often the subject of political cartoons and satire, reflecting the public's mixed feelings about their leadership and policies. But how did this whole president thing even start? To understand the origins of the presidency, we need to go back to the late 18th century when the founding fathers were grappling with the challenge of creating a new government. They met in Philadelphia in 1787 to draft the Constitution, a document that would lay the foundation for the United States. Well, after kicking British rule to the curb, America needed a new system. The American Revolution had freed the colonies from British control, but it also left them with the daunting task of establishing a new form of government. The founding fathers were determined to create a system that would prevent the rise of tyranny. They didn't want another king, thank you very much. The memory of British monarchy and its abuses was still fresh in their minds. They wanted to ensure that no single individual could wield too much power, so they designed a system of checks and balances to keep the president in check. They wanted a leader chosen by the people, enter the president. The idea was to have a leader who would be accountable to the citizens, not a monarch who ruled by divine right. The president would be elected by the people, for the people, through a democratic process. This wasn't just some figurehead, though. The president was given significant powers and responsibilities, including the ability to sign legislation into law, veto bills, and serve as commander-in-chief of the armed forces. This role required a delicate balance of authority and accountability. The president would be both head of state, the fancy pants on the world stage, and head of government, the one calling the shots domestically. This dual role meant that the president had to navigate both international diplomacy and domestic policy, often juggling multiple crises at once. It's a big job, folks. The presidency is not for the faint of heart. It requires a unique blend of leadership, vision, and resilience. From managing the economy to responding to national emergencies, the president's responsibilities are vast and varied. And while the office has its perks, it also comes with immense pressure and scrutiny. So the next time you see a president on TV, remember the weight of the office they hold and the history that brought them there. Now imagine the US government like a three-legged stool. This stool is not just any ordinary piece of furniture, it's a symbol of balance and stability. Each leg of this stool represents one of the three branches of the US government, and just like a real stool, if one leg fails, the whole structure can topple over. You've got the president, that's the executive branch, Congress, the legislative branch, and the Supreme Court, the judicial branch. Each of these branches has its own unique responsibilities and powers, but they are all interconnected and must work in harmony to ensure the government functions effectively. The executive branch, led by the president, is responsible for enforcing the laws that Congress passes. The president also serves as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, making critical decisions about national security and foreign policy. This branch is the face of the nation, representing the United States on the global stage. Each leg has its own job, and they all need to work together to keep the stool upright. This teamwork is essential, because it ensures that no single branch becomes too powerful. The system of checks and balances is designed to prevent any one branch from overstepping its bounds, and to maintain the equilibrium of power. The president enforces laws, commands the military, and generally tries to keep things running smoothly. This involves a wide range of activities, from signing bills into law, to issuing executive orders, and overseeing federal agencies. The president also has the power to veto legislation, which can be overridden by Congress with a 2/3 majority vote. Congress, made up of the Senate and the House of Representatives, writes and passes those laws. The Senate and the House have different roles and responsibilities, but together they form the legislative body that creates the laws governing the country. Senators and representatives debate, amend, and vote on proposed legislation, ensuring that the voices of the people are heard in the lawmaking process. And the Supreme Court? They're the referees, making sure everyone plays by the rules of the Constitution. The justices review cases that challenge the constitutionality of laws and government actions, interpreting the Constitution to ensure that the rights and freedoms of individuals are protected. Their decisions can have far-reaching implications, shaping the legal landscape of the nation for generations to come. Here's the thing about power, it can be intoxicating. That's why the Founding Fathers, those wig-wearing geniuses, built in a system of checks and balances. Each branch can keep the others in line. The president can veto laws passed by Congress, but Congress can override that veto with enough votes. The Supreme Court can declare laws unconstitutional even if the president and Congress love them. See how this works? It's all about preventing any one branch from getting too big for its britches. So, what's good about this whole presidential system? Well, for starters, it's pretty stable. Presidents have a fixed term of 4 years, so no more worrying about monarchs ruling for centuries. Plus, the president is directly accountable to the people. You don't like how things are going? Vote them out in the next election. And when it comes to making big decisions, the president can act quickly and decisively. No need to wrangle hundreds of politicians for every little thing. Section 5. The downsides, where the system gets tricky. Of course, no system is perfect. One major challenge is the potential for gridlock. If the president and Congress can't agree on anything, nothing gets done. It's like watching a political game of tug-of-war except nobody wins. Then there's the risk of executive overreach. Sometimes presidents try to push the boundaries of their power, which can lead to some, shall we say, interesting legal battles. Section 6. The Electoral College, America's unique voting system. Now let's talk about the Electoral College. This is the system Americans use to elect their president, and it's complicated. Instead of directly voting for the president, you're actually voting for a group of electors who then cast votes on your behalf. The candidate with the most electoral votes wins, even if they didn't win the popular vote. It's a system that has sparked its fair share of controversy over the years. Section 7. Gridlock, when government grinds to a halt. Remember that political tug-of-war we talked about? That's gridlock in action. It happens when the president and Congress are from different political parties and refuse to compromise. Suddenly, passing important legislation becomes about as easy as herding cats. The government grinds to a halt and everyone loses. It's enough to make you want to scream into the void. Section 8. The president's power. Too much of a good thing? Being president comes with a lot of power. You're the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military in the world. You can issue executive orders, which have the force of law. You can pardon people for federal crimes. It's a lot of responsibility, and sometimes presidents can get a little power-hungry. That's when checks and balances become even more important to prevent abuse of power. Section 9. So, you want to be president? A final word. The American presidential system is a fascinating beast. It is a unique blend of history, tradition, and modern governance. From the very first president, George Washington, to the current leader, each has left an indelible mark on the fabric of the nation. It's a delicate balance of power, with its own strengths and weaknesses. The Constitution, a living document, provides the framework for this balance. The executive, legislative, and judicial branches each play a crucial role in maintaining the equilibrium. The president, as the head of the executive branch, must navigate this intricate system, making decisions that can have far-reaching consequences. It's a system that has been tested time and again throughout history, and it continues to evolve today. From the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement, from the Great Depression to the Great Recession, the American presidential system has faced numerous challenges. Each era has brought its own set of trials and triumphs, shaping the nation in profound ways. So, the next time you see a picture of the president, take a moment to appreciate the complex system they operate within. Consider the weight of the decisions they must make, the advisors they consult, and the documents they sign. Each action is a piece of a larger puzzle, contributing to the ongoing story of the United States. It's a system that has shaped not only America, but the world. The influence of the American presidency extends far beyond the borders of the United States. From international diplomacy to global economic policies, the decisions made in the Oval Office resonate around the globe. The president's role as a global leader is a testament to the power and responsibility of the office. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one casting a vote for the next leader of the free world. Your vote is a vital part of this democratic process, a way to have your voice heard and to shape the future. As you step into the polling station, remember the history, the struggles, and the triumphs that have brought us to this moment. Each vote is a tribute to the enduring spirit of democracy, a reminder that the power of the presidency ultimately lies in the hands of the people.